have a problem. Before we get started today, I want to say I appreciate you guys so much. I'm getting a decent amount of traffic in and around the channel and on these videos, but not many of you are subscribed for whatever reason, and I respect that. But I'm going to do the thing I'm going to do right now. I'm going to ask you to please consider subscribing to the videos, hit comments and notifications. It would help me out a lot. Thanks, guys. Let's get into the video. Measuring and consideration of where exactly I'm going to place this radiator, turns out I was jacked up. And while the top has enough room here, the bottom, it just doesn't. I mean, look where my accessories are. Everything is smashed into it. So unfortunately, what I need to do is open this area up and bring the radiator out into the core support a couple of inches to give me that room. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut up the Falcon some more. This poor car. So I have these pockets that I originally cut into the frame horns, and you can see there's one there, and then there's one on this side. And with a rubber isolator, everything fits just perfect in here like this. But what I need to do is I need to bring it forward about an inch or so into the core support here. So I'm gonna use a cutoff wheel to trim this back to where I think it needs to be, open this up, and I'll probably use a body saw a little bit to get in the harder to reach spots. And we'll do the same thing over here. The only other thing is that on this side, I'm gonna have quite a bit more of the core support here to remove, probably down to, from this area down. Basically what we're doing here is the radiator can sit flush against here, this part of the core support, or pretty close, but we need to swing the bottom out to clear all the accessories on the engine. All right, I've got the clearance I want over there. And there's gonna be enough room in there for like rubber pads to isolate everything. So it fits just great. Now we're gonna head over to the table and make a template to fill this bottom part. Okay guys, here's what I came up with. There's my plate. If I'm super loud, forgive me. I've got hearing protection on. I can't hear myself. Anyways, so there's my plate. You can see it. I've got 1, 2, 3 breaks in it. And this is thick, and I couldn't break it on my sheet metal brake, so you can see what I did. Here, let me turn this around. What I did is I scored it in several places until it was like pretty weak, and then I was able to break it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean it up on the bench just with a little roll lock and probably weld these seams up, and then I'll fit it to the car. But you can see right here, so there's my cutaway there. This fits really nice. So that's gonna be the new channel for it to sit in. Now I've got some room over there that I gotta fix, and same on the other side, but that allows that thing to sit in there real nice. Let me throw it in there and show you. The old painter's tape here. Okay, you can see the front here. Excellent fit. Now it's pretty close right here. I'm probably gonna have to line that with some kind of rubber or something. But I've got some wiggle room over there. And of course I'll probably put rubber in the feet here so it sits down in that pocket in something. And then I'll make another nice top piece here to hold it. But you can see I've got room for all my accessories now. I mean, it does look close, but let's look at Uncle Mike's car. It's close too, but it's fine. I've got, I don't know, an 1/8 right here, but it works fine on this car, so I know it's gonna work just fine on the little Falcon. So let's get that back out. I'll clean up my plate, weld it, final paint it. Oh, no, I'll weld it, and then we'll fit it into the car, and then we'll paint it once it's in the car. All right, guys, step one, forgive the beard thing happening here. I may or may not have a job interview coming up, and oh man, I always trim it up. I'm thinking about switching the companies I work for. Anyways, so that's what I don't like it. Anyways, let me show you where we're at. I got everything all welded up here, and when I put a bunch of heat into my part here, you can see, you see? It did the old swoop-de-doo on me. So I'm gonna put it in the press here, the shop press, and we're gonna push that bend back out of it, get it as straight as we can. That's fine. That is actually just fine. Sweet. All right, so the backside back here, everything's painted. So I'm just gonna remove some paint where I need to weld this thing in, and then we'll block off the engine with some ram board, I suppose, and then we'll get to welding this thing in. Okay, next day, we're back at it. I got everything kind of prepped last night for welding today. So, got my clamps and spots cleared where I want to weld. So we're gonna tack this thing in, and I don't think I'm gonna weld it all the way. What I'm gonna do is probably stitch weld it and then seam seal everything. Okay, the top part here is stitched. It moved a little bit on me, but I put the clamps back on, pulled it back tight. So now I'm gonna get some more stitches on the bottom here. And so I'll get some more stitches on the bottom, and then I will pull all the clamps off, clean it up, paint it, and seam seal it. That's in there. What I really want to do is I want to get the front end on this car. I haven't had the front end on this car in, years. So let's get the front end on this thing and see what it looks like. That was big step number one, because I had to have everything removed so I could cut that out and fit it. But let's get the fenders on this thing. We're gonna call that a video on this one. I know I didn't get the whole front end of the car together. I'll do that in the next video. I owe you guys a video. It's been a long time since I got something out, but look at this. Look at that. I mean, if you put my big fat head in the way, it almost looks like a car. It's so close, it's so close. But the radiator fits now, and look at this. We got it all plated in, and I got not Pro Seal. That's Pro Seal's an aviation thing. It's all seam sealed and painted and ready to go, and it fits there nicely. I'm just gonna put some rubber bumpers in there, baby rubber bumpers, to isolate the vibration for the radiator. But it's coming together. And you know what I'm gonna do? Because this, look at this right here, EFI stands for a lot more money. And I just want to get this car running. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the intake manifold and the carburetor off of that old Mystery 302 that came in Mike's car. And I'm just going to put it on this just to get it going and get it running. And then I'll convert it over to EFI down the road. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for coming around. Please consider subscribing and turning on notifications and all that stuff for the videos. I really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for coming around. See ya.